Jason, do you mind talking? And I won't dive too far down this rabbit hole, but there are a lot of people in our community who are either on the edge of setting up a corporate structure or a business structure, or thinking they will be in the relative near future. Do you have any kind of high level insight into what most folks should be doing as far as the entity they start? And can you maybe compare and contrast that to the S Corp decision, which those aren't the same decisions, but I think a lot of people think those are the same decisions. Can you speak a little bit about entity and a little bit about filing?
Sure. The probably the most basic entity to start with, or the most likely entity to start with, is what we call an LLC, or a limited liability company. That entity gives you the most flexibility moving forward. And I'll put a caveat on this. Certain states, you shouldn't do that, but most states, it's the right move. And the reason you want to start with an LLC is because if you go the other routes, or the main routes are a C corporation, an S corporation, and a LLC, which can be either a single member LLC or a partnership. And what makes that what makes the S Corp or the C Corp even not the right decision up front is the amount of extra compliance you have. You have to have a good corporate set of books and records. You have to run payroll. You have to have a board meeting every year and kind of write up board notes and things like that. You don't have any of those obligations in an LLC or a single member partnership. You can do your accounting in an Excel workbook if you want to. Once you kind of take that leap and you go the corporate route, you really need to have a good set of books and records. You're going to have corporate resolutions, and there's a lot more rules and compliance you have to follow. And so we like to keep it simple for the most part. Like, let's just start people in the easiest structure. And then once their revenue grows and their income grows and they're starting to really take profits out of the company, that's when we start having those conversations of, hey, look, maybe we should break this into multiple companies. Maybe we should do an S Corp. Maybe part of it should be a C Corp. And so that's when you kind of get into that strategy. But to start out, 9 times out of 10, an LLC is probably the right structure, but you do have to be careful in certain areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.